As a fellow, one of the most incredible things is that as a recent college graduate, we are given so much responsibility. One of the things we've been really focused heavily in Ohio is protecting the Hocking Hills, which, if you're not from Ohio, might sound like a funny sounding name, but certainly folks all over the state, and especially in central Ohio where our office is based and a lot of our membership is based, the Hocking Hills is just a truly special place. The Hocking Hills campaign was my idea as a fellow. Being able to develop that campaign, having the knowledge to develop that campaign, really allowed me to take ownership over it. So Hocking Hills State Park is just this tiny little place in Appalachian, Ohio that gets 3 million visitors every single year. There's waterfalls, bluffs, beautiful caves, and it's just it's an area that so many in Ohio feel a deep connection with. Over the last decade, elected leaders have consistently cut the budget for state parks. We sent out a series of emails to our members asking them to email the governor, but we knew that emails are valuable, but they're all not quite as vivid and personal enough. So what we actually did was had our members send in photographs of themselves and their loved ones and their friends at Hocking Hills, and then we compiled the whole thing into a photo book that we overlaid with the economic case and the emotional case in a memo to key legislators and to the governor and his staff about why protecting the Hocking Hills and protecting the budget for all our state parks made economical sense in the long term and was just incredibly valuable and the right thing to do for the people that elected them. Even as we were successfully defending some of the funding for our state parks, actually another bigger threat was on the way, which is that the oil industry and the gas industry had decided to use this crisis in the budget to sneak in a proposal that they had been wanting to do for several years, which is open our state parks, places like Hocking Hills, to oil and gas drilling. This is all happening at the same time that as in neighboring states like Pennsylvania, New York, and West Virginia, we're seeing an increased use of a new and even more dangerous drilling technique called hydraulic fracturing, which uses all sorts of incredibly toxic chemicals and clears huge amounts of land, is incredibly destructive for the environment through the air and the land and the water. Unfortunately, in the end, despite mobilizing thousands of Ohioans, engaging the media and communicating, testifying in committee and always communicating our thoughts and the voice of the public to legislators, they actually voted to open our state parks to drilling, which is hard to believe, but it just goes to show the power that the oil and the gas industry has in our state, and was all the more need for us to return to the people and build more power for the people and for the parks, so that in the future we can be sure that we're winning battles like this. And so that's why we knew that we needed to expand our membership, communicate this message to the people, make sure that it was getting out in the public. So actually the summer after that, we ended up talking to hundreds of thousands of citizens across the state about the issue. We signed up 4,000 new members, raised over $90,000 to support our work from individual citizen members. And gathered hundreds and hundreds of individual postcards to give the governor and legislature, building the people power that we're going to need in the coming years to protect our parks from drilling, and making sure this drilling, while it shouldn't be done at all, when it is being done, that we can have as tight a regulation on it as possible and make sure that our most ecological sensitive areas are protected and declared off limits from drilling.